guys to come in and to lead us in worship. That's exactly what happened tonight. Man, I'm so grateful for them. I'm so grateful for that investment that they are willing to make. I'm going to try it one more time, Miles. See if we can reset it one time. I can't find it. Oh, I thought I could. There we go. We'll see if we can get that thing to quit glitching. So are you guys thankful? Do you guys appreciate them? So I'm waiting on that. Yeah, let's go ahead and bring those up here. Guys, tonight I'm excited because we are going to hear from one of our remix seniors. Is graduating this year. Yeah. Wait, David? No, not David. He's not. No. Yeah, it's David. David, come on up, man. Yeah, were you supposed to sit on this side? Oh, yeah. No, I wanted to parade you in front of everybody. Yeah. Give it up for David one time. Oh, I think my chair is a little crooked. Oh, there you go.
Oh, thank you. I understand what you see by like the light thing. I'm glad I have my hat on. I actually see faces and stuff.
Oh, look at that guy. Look at that. Did somebody whistle? Somebody, man. Wow, David. Hey, I tell you what, that is a good picture, man. Very photogenic.
No, it took a lot for me to smile for that picture. So.
Oh, really? Yeah. I think you're always smiling. Like when I see you. Doesn't he seem like he's always smiling? Yeah. You don't pay attention? No. So about this time of year, we like to start having our seniors share what we call their final thoughts. Now, it doesn't mean that this isn't your last night at Remix. That's going to be probably a couple months down the road after camp.
Definitely after camp.
Well, definitely after camp, but maybe even after that.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So some of our seniors, we do see some of our seniors, our graduates, have to start kind of transitioning out because of getting ready for school and different things like that. So throughout the summer and so we like to hear from them before that happens. But I have been I'm always, I don't know, you're one of those guys that
Oh.
look at that.
I mean, technically it's the same hat. That'd be the first one I ever got. 22.
You have 22?
Yeah, I sold a few along the way.
Okay.
Because they're epic.
They are epic. And listen, when you're a senior, you can come up here and you can share. But this is David tonight. So, in all honesty, you have been wearing, now maybe not that particular hat, but you've been wearing that hat since since the first time you walked into Remix as a sixth grader. Yep. And that's a bold. I'm telling you what, and I've always been impressed with the fact that you're just like, this is who I am, and this is who I live for. You like it or you don't like it, that's just how it is, and that's impressive because we won't ask for a show of hands, but there's probably not too many people, even sitting in this room, or people that that would wear a hat that just says Jesus every day of their life. It's not about the hat; it's about the fact that you wear him on your heart and that you show him in your life. And I've been really impressed with that over the years. I don't think anybody's ever had anything bad to say about you, and I sure don't. Yeah, it's been fun to watch the journey that you've taken through Remix. This is about 7 years, man, right? Been here a long time. You've been here half as long. I mean, you've been here half as long as I have. So that's it's pretty neat. So I wanted to just kind of bounce a few questions off of you tonight and see, just to allow you to kind of speak to the Remix family and just kind of speak into their lives and to their hearts.
Right.
Oh yeah, you'll have to use the microphone there.
Yeah, it's all good.
Some people think, oh, I don't need a microphone or whatever, but we definitely want to make sure that we can hear you. What do you remember? What do you remember about starting Remix as a sixth grader? I mean, when you think back about that, what do you remember?
Well, I was a pretty small kid, actually, and I joined with, I'd say, maybe 4 or 5 other sixth graders, one including my sister, and she was the only girl to come up in my class. And it was definitely nerve-wracking because you see all these like taller kids, and some of them are like big and buff, and I'm like, geez, I don't know if I'll be like that in 7 years, but it's like you want to like talk to them and like get with them, but like they're kind of I don't know how to say this. I can't think of the word, but intimidating.
Intimidating, yeah.
Definitely intimidating. So you don't like. I didn't really want to talk to any of them, but I just want to talk with some people that I knew from Quake the year before. So like people that were above my year, I would definitely talk to them because I knew them, and then people that were in my grade as well. But I remember the first time I think I was in here, the drum set wasn't over there. It was like way over here. And like the whole entire was like, oh yeah, we had the big screens too, and there was stuff behind it. I think I have no idea. I never went back there. There's always like hiding something. I swear. Yeah, it was a fun experience though, coming in, seeing like the possibility of all the people that were like going after God and stuff, and people that you can look up to, and yeah. That's
important at any age. But coming in as a sixth grader and as a seventh grader on up, it's important to be able to look up to, because you were literally looking up to some of them, and that can be, like you said, it can be kind of intimidating. But then, how cool is that you were able to look up to them spiritually too, seeing that they're living out their relationship with God, and yeah, just. Let that be a reminder to the rest of us that there's always somebody watching, and there's always somebody that probably needs to be put at ease a little bit, because it's just hard to know. Sometimes we don't think about what somebody else is going through. Were there, and you kind of talked about this a little bit, but do you remember specific students that you looked up to? Who were the kind of the big dogs at that time?
It'd probably be the group like Ethan and Ben.
Ben!
Probably helped because he was so tall. You could just like see him above like everyone else. So like him and like a bunch of those group, and like Evan, I know he was like, a lot of people here probably won't remember him, but he was on the worship team, and like he did like bass guitar, or he did something.
He played electric guitar.
Guitar, yeah. And I think most of that class was like people I kind of looked up to because they were like spiritual, and like they'd show it, and like they didn't seem like they were embarrassed by how they acted and what they believed in.
Yeah, so. They were worshipers, and you still see that evident in their lives today, in very many of them. Just a lifestyle of worship. Well, what made you decide to stay connected? Like, you're here, you talked about that as a little intimidating, but you saw some to look up to. But what made you decide to, man, I'm just going to stay connected to Remix, and why have you stayed connected all these years? Because that's not common, unfortunately. That's not common.
Well, I guess the wrong thing to say would be because my mom made me to.
Hey, let's give it up for the moms and dads that make you go to church. Come on. My mom and dad made me go, and I'm so glad they did. And I wasn't happy about it at the time,
Yeah,
but I'm glad they did. So
yeah.
that's a good reason. But what else? I'm sure there was.
I'd say also because the people around me and like coming into it, and then also trying to get people to remix. I know a lot of things is saying like the welcome to the family thing is bring people to church, because like the first time I came here it was a lot. Like it'd basically be full almost every single night, and I mean obviously there's COVID rules and stuff like that around now, but inviting people was the biggest thing. Like I guess kept me coming because there'd always be someone new almost every week. And it'd be nice to see, like, I guess, get to know them and try to keep them in as well. So being accountable for yourself, but also being accountable for others to stay in remix.
Yeah, for sure. That's good. Well, has there been something that you would kind of that you could kind of point to that you think has been the most important thing that you've learned over the years, or maybe something that was the most significant thing that's impacted you during this chapter, in Remix?
I like the iron groups. I think that's been the most impactful thing for me.
Good.
Because I don't think we did that when I started.
No.
But it was like a few years in, maybe like my 8th or so year, or 8th grade or 9th grade or something like that. And being able to talk with the leaders, kind of almost like a one-on-one, but like in a smaller group of people of your age. And like the leader, you can always trust the leaders and stuff. So it was kind of impacted me in a way that I was able to get my feelings in a way, and like see how other people were feeling and how they the situations that they were going through. So, in the ones that we're in now, when Miles gave his senior final thoughts, that put put something really on my heart, and then I was crying for a while, but I don't really want to talk about that. So,
You're not a fan of crying in front of people? Oh, okay. I love it, especially that ugly cry. You know that? That's you'd mentioned about with iron groups that kind of that sharing back and forth, being able to open up and being able to be. What really our goal with that is to create a safe place with a smaller group of people that you kind of are with on a regular basis, that you kind of build that trust and you feel like, hey, I can be real with them. I can be a little bit vulnerable. I can let them in, and then what happens is so many times when we're willing to open up about something we're feeling or a struggle or whatever, we find that other people around us are like, oh yeah, and that resonates with them, and we're able to kind of find some common ground, and we're like, man, I'm not the only one that feels that way. I'm not the only one. So it can be real encouraging. So don't, I want to encourage you not to hold back. Those can be some really powerful. Those can be some powerful moments. Well, what's one thing, or it doesn't have to be one thing, but the most important thing you think that each and every student in Remix needs to hear, or to know, or to realize during their time here?
I have to say, kind of like what Emmy was talking about after the worship, but the leaders are here for you, and they take their time out of the week and a few other days to get ready, set up, and then they are here to talk to you. And even if they're not the same age as you, they've been through experiences that you've probably been through, and it might be a different time, but they've still seen that, and they've been in Remix probably for a decent amount of time, and they've seen teens go through problems. They've seen they've been able to help those people with how to get through them. So I'd say a big thing is to talk to your leaders and ask them questions if you have any, but always try to rely on them, because you're not going to be at Remix for, you're in remix for like 7 years if you've been here since 6th grade, but it's definitely a thing that is something important that I probably should have done a lot earlier.
Yeah. It's and that's something that the older you get, as you mature, and you start to realize some of those things, and it's like, oh man, should have took advantage of this early on, and that's okay because what remix, I mean, what it's about is preparing you for what's next, preparing you for the next chapter. I mean, when you get ready to step, out of this chapter of your life and step into our young adult ministry and step into Connect, that you can start there, and that that ceiling that you've reached in remix then becomes the floor for what's next. But yeah, man, that's powerful to take advantage of. That sounds weird, to take advantage of our leaders, but to utilize I don't know, to
Use their wisdom.
to glean from their wisdom, to really take advantage of them being willing to invest in your lives. They're not, our leaders are not here because they're paid to be here. They're here because they have chosen to love you guys, and really, and all those generations of remix students that have come through before you. God just has placed that on their hearts, and man, just dive into that. And because there's a lot of strength that you can draw, a lot of wisdom you can draw on. If you could give one, I don't know, if you could give one final, well, you know what? Before we go there, how you had said mentioned something about standing out. So how do you feel like how did you stand out in remix?
I'd say it probably started out at camp, but I'm a very competitive person. I hadn't really noticed that about you. I didn't get to really show off tonight, but definitely, I guess I started out like being, I can't say I was a shy person, but I definitely was like quieter, and but I liked gaming and stuff like that, and just like seeing all the games that were up here, and then camp really put me out there, I guess broke me out of my shell in a way, but I definitely want to be more competitive, and I'd beat Kyle any day at Gaga Ball, so.
Ooh, it's a challenge, Kyle. So you guys are gearing up for camp, right? There's going to be some camp Gaga Ball.
Oh, yeah, I am the first place champ at Gaga Ball, so.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, orange team, man. We walk away with all kinds of firsts, first place. So let's see. This year, let's see, Miles. How many years is this going to be for the flag? Our team flag. Okay, so this will be our 7th year. We just know we're going to take first place, right? Huh? He never lost. Miles he's kind of been in charge of anyway, our team flag. But last year, yeah, you walked away with first place in our Gaga Ball, dodgeball. Our guys killed in dodgeball last year. Did our girls win the basketball tournament last year too?
I think so.
They did. I think they won our basketball tournament. First in carpet ball. Do you have anything? Now this is where, because you mentioned it's like, oh, I wish I'd have taken advantage of that, even earlier. But so if there's, and maybe that was the only thing. Is there anything that you kind of wish you would have done, or if you could have done things differently? What do you think? What do you think that would have been? And the reason I ask is because we've got students sitting here right now that probably have the opportunity to make that change right now, and we find ourselves later on being like, man, if somebody just told me, or gosh, if somebody had, So, is there anything that you think, oh man, I wish I would have?
I mean, I didn't really have the talent to do like worship and stuff, but I think finding a talent that you have that can help remix out was one thing I kind of like didn't really step into. I mean, I'd help with the tech team, but I didn't really help with the tech team until like this year. So, and like I can't say they're can almost always help finding. They're always in need of someone. So even in the worship team, like a singer, if you're good at guitar, you're trying to get into it, then the people around here can always help you. And or the tech team, it's really not even that difficult. And if you have time on your hands, always try to like get some time to the tech team, or find Miles, because he's could always help you do all that stuff and get you into it. So that was one thing I kind of like regret not doing or stepping into earlier.
Well, we've got a great opportunity for everybody coming up in June. I don't know if they've heard anything about Cruise coming up. Yeah, I think we mentioned that. So that'll be an opportunity for you to try out some different things. All right. So, but last thing, if you could give one final challenge to your Remix family, to your younger Remix family, what would it be?
I'd say, since this is the last, I can't say the last week, but this is around a few weeks from now. Dave and Jess won't be in here, sadly, and so I want to challenge the younger ones, like the juniors going up and everyone else, to respect the new person coming in. I mean, Tony and Verna will be an interim until the new pastor. But try to involve them, try to get to know them, because try to act. I can't say act like you're with Pastor Dave, because sometimes we act a little crazy. But definitely try.
Better than that. Yeah, try to do better than. No, I'm just.
Definitely try to involve them and try to get to talk with them and stuff, because if they don't feel welcome, then it's not much of a family. So.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Yeah. You know what? When anytime we go through change, I mean, here over the next few months, things are going to change a lot for you. And things are going to change for Remix. They're going to change for us. But with change comes incredible opportunity for God to take things to another level, and to do things that He's been preparing that He's been preparing behind the scenes. So sometimes our perspective is very one-sided. Sometimes we can only see from where we were sitting. Like if Nikki were to get up from where she's sitting and she were to come over here and sit in front of Monique, all of a sudden she would see things that she can't see from over there, and vice versa. And so what we need to understand is God sees this from all perspectives. He knows exactly what's going on, and He's got this. When we don't understand, we trust, and we just continue to do that next right thing. I think that's powerful. And I appreciate that. Tony and Verna are going to be stepping in this transition time, and. And I'll be honest with you, that may be a lot easier transition for you guys than maybe the next transition. We don't know, right? I mean, we don't know. We don't know exactly where those things are going to go, but God's got it. God's got it, and it's going to be great. And I got to run sound back there, and I got to see Robbie up here for the first time in a while, and just watching. You guys lead in worship and just feeling God's presence in this room. Man, there's not anything more important than just getting in God's presence. That's where it's at. Sorry, that just kind of, I guess, piggybacking on your thought. That's I'm going to be sharing my final thoughts in a couple of weeks. Oh. I thought that would be fun. So I won't go into things too much there. David, I'm really proud of you, man. I'm so proud of our seniors that they go the distance, and they stay connected and stay plugged in all the way through, because as I said before, that's not common. So I want our younger students, I want you to realize that. I want you to notice that, and I want you to, just to, I don't know, just to really appreciate that, kind of in your own way, just to kind of pause and really kind of soak in that a little bit. And that's what I want to challenge you to do, is to stay connected and to start pouring back in. Be that example. Be somebody that others look up to. So would you guys give it up for David tonight? Oh, no, that David. Yeah.